I've still yet to watch back on the footage, but from what I remember, I was basically yelling at 2 a.m. and probably waking up my neighbors, and we just had like a good time filming it. I am in Portugal right now, and usually what I do whenever I go on a trip is schedule some videos ahead of time so that I still am able to post a video on my channel once a week. Last week I was able to do that when I was in New York because I posted the hangover video. This week I was supposed to schedule a video called Six of Crows Vine Edition, where you would see iconic vines with the Six of Crows characters' faces animated on top of it. Unfortunately, I was not able to edit that and put it together in time before leaving for Portugal because I've been very busy just preparing everything at my job and then preparing for this trip that I just have not been able to get that shit together. And at first I was just gonna leave this week totally empty and not post anything. But then I realized that I kind of have a few updates to announce anyway for this channel. So this is basically going to be kind of like a throwaway video where I talk about some things that are going to be coming up in this channel soon. I'm basically going to spend this video talking about like a few housekeeping stuff, like some live shows that are going to be happening very soon, a book club that I'm making with Kat and Jordan, a couple of giveaways for the Asian Readathon, what I'm doing for my BookTube anniversary, some videos that you can expect to see in the next few months, and just for funsies, since I've been feeling very inspired lately during my trip, I want to talk about a novel that I really want to publish and get started on working on it next year. I'm gonna talk about these updates in chronological order, starting with this upcoming weekend on Saturday, May 25th at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. There will be a live show for the Asian Readathon. This live show will be me and a few other Asian booktubers like Cav from X Reading Solace X, Elias from Elias, and Chloe from Books with Chloe, and last but not least, Sandra from Got a Thing for Things. It will be the 5 of us getting together and discussing the group book, which is 1,000 Beginnings and Endings, which is a fantasy anthology. I do think that it would be nice to kind of broaden the live show topic so that it doesn't just cover the book. I was thinking that it might be interesting to also talk about our experiences as an Asian booktuber and diversity on BookTube, and just some general topics that align with the values of Asian Readathon. So if you have any questions for either the group book or just about the topic of diversity in general, feel free to submit questions to us and we can go over them in the live show. You can submit these questions in the live chat when the show actually happens, or if you kind of want to get your questions early ahead of time, you can go ahead and write that in the comments for this video and I can kind of curate them and make sure that we address some of them during the live show as well. And on the live show, there will be a giveaway for the 2 Aru Shah books by Roshani Chakshi. This is a fantasy middle grade series that is based on Hindu mythology, and I actually got these books from a sponsorship that I did. The sponsorship did not include a giveaway, but I thought it would be a good idea to use that money to open this for international shipping. So if you're interested in getting those 2 books, you do have a chance to win them if you attend the live show and you leave a comment on the live show video. So more details will be up on there. There will also be a Twitter giveaway for 3 books. Those 3 books are by Nandini Bajpai, and they are Star-Crossed, A Match Made in Mehendi, and Red Turban White Horse. So they kind of vary between like fantasy and chick lit, and they are by an Indian author. So if you are interested in that, I will tweet about the details on the Asian Readathon Twitter after the live show is over. So it's gonna be one of those things where you can retweet and have a chance to win. However, the countries that are applicable to win this are limited to 3 regions. I don't remember what those regions are yet. I believe it's like US, India, and Australia. Those are basically the Asian Readathon updates. Once again, it's on Saturday, May 25th at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I will also leave a link for a time zone converter so you can check to see what time it is in your region. And then the next day, on Sunday, May 26th, there will be another live show on Rachel Marie's channel that I will be on. She has a monthly book club, and for the month of May, she is participating in both Asian Readathon and Mental Healthathon with the book The Astonishing Color of After by Emily XR Pant. I will be joined with Tom and Coco and Leia and Rachel to talk about our thoughts on the book. I finished the book the other day, and I think I have an unpopular opinion about it. So there seems to be a trend where every time I'm on a live show with Rachel, I gotta be that bitch that is not impressed with the book as much as everyone else is. But it's okay. I'll try to articulate my thoughts about the book as fairly as possible. So if you are interested in that, be sure to check out her show on Sunday, and I will link her channel in the description box as well. And then on Sunday, I will also be posting my vlog for New York because I was in the city last week, and I think I'm gonna be splitting my vlog into 2 parts because there's just a lot to cover. New York, getting there was like a fucking hot mess, and I will talk about all of that in my vlog as well. The next news that I want to share is that I am gonna be hosting a book club slash read along slash series of live shows with Kat from Paperback Dreams and Jordan from Jordan Harvey. As you probably know, we have been hosting live shows for all of the Grisha-verse books that Leigh Bardugo has been writing, ranging from the Grisha trilogy to Six of Crows to King of Scars. And these live shows have been alternating between Kat's channel and my channel and then Jordan's. So we recently had a live show for King of Scars on Jordan's channel. A lot of people in the live chat were asking, will you do more of these, or can you do other live shows that are not necessarily Grisha books or Leigh Bardugo books? And the answer is yes. So this is a heads up for you all that if you enjoy any of our channels, we will definitely be making this a regular thing by having a book club. And we decided to call this book club Papercut because we felt like it was book related, but also kind of representative of our essence in general. I created a Twitter for it so you can get more details about it. I'm gonna leave that Twitter link here. There is nothing on that Twitter right now. It is completely empty because I haven't had time to get in and design all of like the headers and profile pictures and whatever. I plan on doing that when I get back from Portugal, but if you just want to follow it ahead of time, you can go ahead and jump over and do that. Basically, how it's going to work is that we are going to take turns between Kat's channel and then my channel and then Jordan's channel, where every time a live show will be hosted on someone's channel, that person will be in charge of choosing the book that we will be reading. So coming up in June is Kat's channel, and the book that we are going to be reading is Radio Silence, which is her favorite book of all time. There's not like a set time or a set day where this regularly occurs. It's just going to be whenever we get our shit together. The dates will be TBA for Radio Silence, but if you follow our Twitter, that news will be updated along the way. So the live show in June, either in mid-June or late June, will be on Kat's channel for Radio Silence, and then after that, we're gonna turn over to my channel for a book of my choice, which I'm not sure what it will be yet. So if you have any suggestions for what book I should pick for my live show, let me know. I don't reread books, so I wanted to pick a book that is already on my TBR, but I also want this book to be accessible to everyone to be able to read along. So it's probably gonna be like a more popular book that most people have probably read or are planning on reading anyway. So if you have any books in that realm, let me know. And then after that, we are gonna hop over to Jordan's channel to talk about her book of choice, which is The Goose Girl. So I'm very excited for our Papercut book club. Please feel free to join us if you ever wanna read along with us for our book of choice. And even if you don't read the book, you can just hop onto the live chat and just hang out with us. And then after that, I realized that I have my 1-year BookTube anniversary coming up because my first video ever was posted on June 25th of last year. I already did a Q&A back when I had 10K, and to be honest, it was a lot of fucking work trying to compile all the questions together. So what I'm gonna do instead for the BookTube anniversary is I'm gonna do a video where I am reacting to your assumptions about me. I think it would be interesting to see what assumptions you have, because I feel like I've been a very open book, pun not intended. But when it gets closer to June 25th and I'm ready to film it, I will be posting the prompt on my Instagram for you to submit your assumptions about me. But in case you kind of want to just submit it early, you can go ahead and leave your assumptions in the YouTube comments down below for this video. Or if you want to be anonymous, like if you want to leave a shady comment and you want to hide your identity, you can go ahead and leave your assumptions in my Curious Cat as well, which is open to anonymous submissions. I can't believe it's been a year. I feel like a year is not that long, and so much has changed because of that. I mean, not really changed, but so much has developed, and I've learned and met so many new people, and I've discovered this whole new side to YouTube, and it's very interesting to kind of cross the line from being a YouTube consumer to being a YouTube creator. There's so many things that I did not know about when it comes to YouTube. These are all things that I definitely want to talk about in a future video called the BookTube Real Talk tag, because I've been tagged in that a couple of times by different booktubers. And originally, I was gonna film, what the fuck? I thought I was gonna hiccup, but I didn't. Anyway, when I talk about this tag, I want to discuss the money-making aspect of BookTube and what I've learned from that. One of the questions in the tag is, what are your thoughts on sponsorships and partnerships? So I want to talk about kind of my reasoning behind certain sponsorships that I have accepted, and then certain sponsorships that I've rejected because I thought that it was sketchy or it didn't align with my values. I also want to talk about this recent BookTube controversy that happened and kind of the learning lesson that you can take from there if you are interested in joining BookTube. So we will talk about a lot of meaty subjects, so wait for that. Other than that, there will be a lot of videos that I'm looking forward to editing together in the next few months. So beyond just doing wrap-ups, I plan on obviously putting together vlogs from my trip in New York and Portugal. New York will likely be split into 2 parts because there was just a lot to go through. Portugal might be split into 3 or 4 parts. And during those vlogs, it's basically gonna cover me going on my trips and traveling and seeing places and things, as well as updating my progress on reading certain books for the Asian Readathon. And there won't be any spoilers, but in general, I'm covering The Gilded Wolves, The Astonishing Color of After, 1,000 Beginnings of Endings, I'm Afraid of Men, and Girls of Paper and Fire. I know that my vlogs are not like as popular as my other videos, which is kind of ironic because I feel like I put a lot of more effort into the vlogs as opposed to my more popular videos where I'm literally just sitting on the couch and that's it. It's so strange how BookTube works, but I still really enjoy editing the vlogs anyway because I feel like it's a nice travel diary for me to kind of document what's going on in my life beyond just reading. But if you just want to stick to bookish content, I have a few other things that I'm excited to post about. The video that I'm most excited to edit together is a collab video that I did with Emma from Emma Books, because when I was in New York, we got to hang out and then we went back to my hotel to film a special video that I am not going to reveal exactly what it is about, but I will say that the topic is about shadow hunters. As you probably know, Emma is the #1 Shadowhunters fan, and I have never read the Shadowhunters, and I probably will not read this series because it's just not the kind of book that I feel like I would enjoy. So we put together this video that I think whether you hate the Shadowhunters series or you love it, you will still find it very enjoyable. I've still yet to watch back on the footage, but from what I remember, I was basically yelling at 2 a.m. and probably waking up my neighbors, and we just had like a good time filming it. And then the last thing that I want to talk about is not really news or updates or anything, but I wanted to share it just for funsies because it's something that I've been thinking about while I've been exploring Portugal and having the time and space to kind of daydream and think about the things that I want to do in the near future. Something that I have decided a while back is that I will be jumping into the second draft of a novel that I wrote back in 2012. I will be jumping into that in the year 2020 because this year I want to kind of wrap up some design side projects that I'm doing at the moment. Right now I'm working on a design project that's going to be a digital memoir of basically my life and my mental health journey, and it's going to be a combination of a series of essays that I'm writing, as well as some design pieces that will culminate together into an interactive website. And I just want to get that out of the way first this year because I can only work on one thing at a time. If I try to do two major projects at the same time, then neither of them end up getting done. So I want to work on that for the year 2019. But then moving forward with the year 2020 and perhaps onwards, I kind of want to take a break from design in general. I mean, obviously I'll still be working at my job, but in terms of like side projects and things that I do outside of work, I want to take a break from design because I feel like a lot of the things that I do related to design were things that I felt like I needed to do in order to improve as a designer or to be seen as more marketable. And I'm getting to this point where I don't feel like I need to prove myself anymore. And now I kind of want to focus on things that I genuinely really want to do. If you've seen my drunk Q&A video, you have seen me pull out these collection of books that I have written back when I was in high school, because back then I participated in NaNoWriMo, and every time I finished a book, I would print them as proof copies without actually publishing them. So I never really did anything with that. They were really just copies for my own personal enjoyment. But I've decided that when the year 2020 hits and I'm done with all of the other side projects that I have on my plate, I want to fully devote myself to writing a novel that I originally worked on back in 2012. And I want to try to actually publish this novel. I don't want to reveal what the story is about. I kind of just want to keep it a secret for now until the book does get published. But what I will say is that this story is a standalone fantasy novel. It is based on a fairy tale. One of the themes deals with mental health, and that's basically all that I'm going to reveal about this story. However, I do want to say that when I wrote the first draft back in 2012, I made the main character a man, and he has a relationship with the other female character. Something that I thought about this year, like even before I went on this trip, as I started considering revisiting this draft and making a second draft out of it, was considering gender swapping the main character. I'm changing the second draft so that the main character is now a woman, which means that this story will feature a female and female relationship. But really nothing has changed with swapping the genders because this main character will still have the same personality as I've written for her when she was a man in the first draft, and her relationship with the other main character will also be exactly the same. So nothing has changed at all. The only difference is that she is a woman, and now she just happens to be in a relationship that is not straight. And this was a decision that I decided to make not because I wanted to gain diversity points or because I wanted to have a gay relationship for the sake of having a gay relationship. It was more so because I kept on thinking about the themes throughout the story and the messages that I wanted to show for the narrative. And as I thought more about those themes, I realized that it's more impactful for the main character to be a woman, and it's more impactful for this relationship to be about a female and female relationship. And I can't say why because I don't want to reveal the story and I don't want to give away too much about it, but I think if you ever read it, I think it will make sense why it was better for me to make this specifically a female character story and specifically a female and female relationship, because by doing so, I believe this makes the themes of the story more impactful and more relevant to our real world. It's really because I genuinely believe that this will make a better story because it is more purposeful that way. Another change that I'm making is that in the first draft, the main character used to have a younger brother, but now in the second draft, I'm gonna update it so that she has a younger sister instead, which means that pretty much all of the characters will be all women, except for one character who really isn't in the story that much. He's only there in the beginning and then he's there again towards the end. But other than that, the cast will primarily be all women. The sister is exactly the same as how she was in the first draft, and her relationship with the main character is exactly the same as well. But I think the fact that she is a young girl trying to survive in this world as opposed to a young boy, I think that... Okay, so my camera died in the middle of filming this, so I'm just gonna complete my last thought here. I'm making a few changes to my second draft once I start working on it, but I definitely think that these changes are very purposeful because they are more so to enhance the themes of the story, which will not be changing. If anything, they might develop even further. But I'm very excited to be working on it, and I'm really glad that this trip has kind of set things into perspective for me and has inspired me to get back into working on this again. I mean, I was already planning on working on it anyway, but I think this trip has reinforced me to really be hyped up for it. And I hope that if anyone actually cares, that you might be hyped up for it too. There will be no love triangles, there will be no characters releasing a breath they didn't know they were holding, but nonetheless, I believe that it will still be a story that people will want to read. I think so, because it's a story that I would have wanted to read. And I am excited at the possibility that this might become a reality. And even though I'm not going to BookCon like everyone else is, I want to say this out loud for posterity, that someday I will go to BookCon, but I will not go to BookCon as a reader or even as a booktuber. Someday I will go to BookCon as an author. I'm hopeful for the near future. And at the very least, I'm just excited for all the other news that I have updated earlier in the video. And I hope that you are too. So that's pretty much all of my updates that I have for now. If you have watched this far, why? But regardless, I hope that everyone watching this is doing well. And if you're not doing well, I hope that you are working towards being better. And I hope that you know things will get better. And yeah, let me know how life is. Let me know what you're reading right now. Let me know how you're doing. Let me know what you're procrastinating on. I don't know. Just leave me a comment. Let me know what you're up to. I read all of the comments. And I'll let you know in detail how I've been doing because I've been pretty much documenting everything through these vlogs, which I will be editing and putting together in the next few weeks. But let's just make this like a two-way street. And you let me know how you're doing. Hope everyone is doing well. And that's about it. Bye. Oh wait, actually one last thing. This is just like a random observation, but I have seen the Afterbooks by Anna Todd literally, I would say at least 5 times in all the different bookstores that I went to in Portugal. Like, her impact is terrifying. Okay, goodbye.